36 states have moved to legalize same-sex marriage, but in some quarters, a backlash is underway. One example is Colorado, where one bakery owner says the state should not force him to cater gay weddings. Sreenivasan takes a look at the ongoing legal battle between religious expression and equal rights.
Colorado baker Jack Phillips estimates he's made 5,000 wedding cakes since he opened his shop Masterpiece Cakes 20 years ago.
I just like everything about the baking business. With a wedding, I get to know the bride, I get to know the groom if I can, as much of the personalities and things as I can.
And while his portfolio of wedding cakes is vast, there's one cake the baker refuses to bake. Phillips will not make a cake for a same-sex marriage.
It's a cake that I just don't do because of my Christian faith. Do you want this closed up?
A deeply religious man, Jack Phillips says he'll bake birthday cakes, cupcakes, and a variety of other sweets for same-sex couples, just not a wedding cake.
I actually feel like I'm taking part in the wedding. Part of me goes to the reception. And in this case, that part of me doesn't want to be represented in a ceremony that I believe is unbiblical.
But that line of reasoning does not work for Colorado's Civil Rights Division. The state says Phillips must comply with a Colorado statute requiring business owners to offer the same services to all customers, regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation. And an administrative judge ordered Phillips to cease and desist his wedding cake policy. As the number of states allowing same-sex marriages increases, so too have the number of business owners refusing to provide wedding services. Cases like a florist in Washington state, a bed and breakfast in Hawaii, a printer in Kentucky, and a photographer in New Mexico.
We are on a collision course with homosexual rights versus rights of conscience.
Yes, so I filed this morning.
Lawyer Nicole Martin is representing Jack Phillips in a case now before the Colorado Court of Appeals. It began when Phillips refused to make a wedding cake in 2013.
Jack declined because of his religious beliefs about marriage, not because of who the complainants are.
I love that picture of her.
The complainants are Colorado couple Charlie Craig and Dave Mullins.
My mom and your dad came and gave me a giant hug.
After dating for 4 years, Craig and Mullins decided to make it official by getting married in 2012.
They have done it!
At the time, same-sex marriage was illegal in Colorado, so the couple traveled to Massachusetts, where they married surrounded by friends and family who made the trip with them.
It celebrated us and the people who had come together for us, and I feel like those are the fundamental things that everyone wants in their wedding.
The couple then planned their reception in Colorado and went to Masterpiece Cake Shop to look at cakes.
We sat down with the owner, Jack Phillips, opened the book of ideas, and almost instantly he asked us if the cake was for us. We said it was, and he told us that he would not make a wedding cake for a gay couple. And what followed was an incredibly awkward pregnant pause before we got up and left.
Jack Phillips describes the meeting in much the same way.
I said, I'm sorry guys, I don't do cakes for same-sex weddings. At which point they both stormed out. I have 2 doors, 1 out, each door.
We were mortified and embarrassed. And the fact that Charlie's mother was there, you don't want your mother to have to see that.
It hurt me. It made me feel like I was not worthy.
Being told and treated unequally, it makes you feel like a second-class citizen. It makes you feel like you matter less than the person standing next to you.
Craig and Mullins filed a complaint with the Colorado Civil Rights Division. Amanda Goad, a lawyer for the American Civil Liberties Union, represents Craig and Mullins. Goad says Jack Phillips' faith doesn't allow him to refuse services to only some customers.
It's always been the case in America that you have the right to believe whatever you would like to believe and to practice that faith. That doesn't go so far as to mean that you can practice your faith in ways that exclude other people from public life or cause harm to other people.
I don't see not baking a cake as causing anybody harm. There's a bakery across the street that would make it for them.
It's not just about the cake. What we're talking about here is access to public life. And the same law that says a bakery as a retail business can't discriminate also applies to all sorts of other establishments open to the public. Everything from banks, to hospitals, to parks, to hotels and motels.
Nicole Martin agrees the debate is about something bigger. She says it's a First Amendment issue.
This case is about the government forcing Jack to express a message that is deeply at odds with his convictions.
I feel like I'm discriminated against. The U.S. Constitution, First Amendment, clearly says that Congress shall pass no law that says that they're for an establishment of religion or restricting the free exercise of it.
Filling an order for a customer is just that, filling an order for a customer. There are all sorts of ways that he could communicate if he doesn't personally agree with the messages involved in completing a particular order.
Would you come up with like a side veggie to do?
For their part, Craig and Mullen say the experience has led them to speak out in a way they would not have before.
We strongly support the right for people to believe whatever they believe in their hearts. But a bakery is not a church. It is a place of business open to the public. And if you are in a business open to the public, that is governed by civil laws and not religious laws.
Jack Phillips has stopped taking all wedding cake orders until the Colorado Court of Appeals weighs in on his case. Meanwhile, cases like Phillips have prompted controversial legislation in several states to let businesses refuse services based on an owner's religious beliefs. I'm Sreenivasan for the PBS NewsHour.